This is AOPA Australia Live.
The Benella Aviation Museum is relatively small. It was started as a memorial to the Air Force unit that was there during the Second World War, 11 EFTS, Elementary Flying Training School. There were 80 Tiger Moths based at Benella during the war, and they trained almost 3,000 pilots from scratch for the war effort. Coincidentally, I had moved there with my 3 aircraft. I'm an adventure flight operator, and we got together. I accommodate the museum with their Tiger Moth, which is under restoration at the moment, and a number of other aircraft and engines. But uniquely, 3 of our aircraft fly, which are my 3. They're part of the museum, and people can actually go for a flight in them. The aircraft's painted that colour. First of all, it's in similar to the training colours, which of course required the other students and instructors to be able to see the different aircraft. When I bought the aircraft, which is a Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation Wingill, Australian designed and built when we once had a proud aviation industry, the aircraft was actually in camouflage. It was used up at Williamtown, where the fighters are based, as a forward air controller or FAC aircraft spotter. But when I acquired the aircraft, I was going to operate it from Benella, which is one of the world's busiest gliding airfields. I didn't think operating a camouflaged aircraft out of there would be a good idea. So I poured through the books and magazines and found this scheme, and it's painted in the scheme of the RAAF VIP Squadron, number 34. We've had 2 of them at Canberra during the late 1950s. So I thought this scheme was far more attractive and, very importantly, easier to see. I've been an airline pilot for 30 years, and the basic stick and rudder skills are just so important, as is also educating the youth about historic aviation and the sacrifices made by those who designed the aircraft and test flew them and operated them, plus of course our war history. A part of our museum's charter is to try and educate young people, school groups, school visits and so forth, into aviation history, and again, uniquely, we actually have operating historic aircraft. It's absolutely vital. I was out of Australia for 16 years, but I remember GA growing up as a child before I joined the military, the Navy and then the Air Force as a pilot. I think the government needs to do a lot of things to ensure the future viability of general aviation. I'm very worried about the lack of support at political level for our industry, which is just so important for economics, defence, development of young people and industry. It's a lot can be learned from what's happening in the US and possibly New Zealand.